LaTisha Scott recently made a shocking statement that has left fans of Love and Marriage, Huntsville completely taken aback. Her comments raised serious questions about whether the popular show could be ending soon. As fans try to process her words, many are left wondering if the show really is in danger of being cancelled. LaTisha hinted in a recent interview that things might not be going well for the show, which has caused a lot of speculation online. Could the beloved reality series be coming to an end? Everyone seems to be asking the same question. In the interview, LaTisha hinted that there were difficulties behind the scenes. She spoke about the rising conflicts among the cast and, most alarmingly, suggested that the future of the show might not be as secure as many fans had hoped. While she never directly said that the show was being cancelled, her remarks were enough to set the internet buzzing. She revealed, "Y'all don't even know half of what goes on behind the scenes. It's a lot, and at this point, I don't even know where things are headed anymore." These words left fans and insiders wondering what was really going on. Normally, reality TV stars are bound by strict contracts and confidentiality agreements with the networks, which means they tend to avoid speaking openly about potential cancellations. LaTisha, however, broke the silence, and that's why her comments are so intriguing. Some fans believe she was simply stirring up drama for the next season, while others are concerned that this could be an indication that the show is truly in danger of being cancelled. What makes this situation even more mysterious is the silence from the show's creator, Carlos King, and the network, OWN. Typically, when rumors about a show's cancellation begin circulating, the network would quickly release a statement to reassure fans. But this time, there has been no response. No tweets, no public comments, just complete silence. This has only fueled the speculation, with many now wondering if LaTisha's words are a reflection of real, behind-the-scenes problems. Looking at the broader picture, things don't seem to be going well for Love and Marriage, Huntsville. The ratings have been steadily declining, and some viewers are starting to feel that the show has lost its appeal. In earlier seasons, the show was a massive hit, attracting a large audience and quickly becoming one of the most popular reality TV series on television. But lately, the numbers have been falling. Although it still has a loyal following, the show no longer garners the same level of attention it once did. When compared to the earlier seasons, fewer episodes are trending on social media, and some of them have even dropped below the viewership threshold that the network deems necessary for renewal. This raises the question, could the network be preparing to cancel the show? OWN has a history of pulling the plug on shows that no longer perform well, and Love and Marriage, Huntsville might be next. The network has cancelled other shows in the past when their ratings began to fall, despite having strong fan bases. Shows like The Book of John Grisham and What About Love were both cancelled due to dropping ratings, even though they had loyal audiences. Is Love and Marriage, Huntsville following the same path? Another factor contributing to the uncertainty surrounding the show is the ongoing drama among the cast. Reality TV thrives on drama, but there's a fine line between entertaining conflict and toxic drama. Unfortunately, the drama on Love and Marriage, Huntsville seems to be leaning more toward the toxic side, and viewers are starting to grow tired of it. The constant arguing, social media battles, and personal conflicts spilling over into real life are starting to turn fans off. The storylines have become repetitive, dominated by Melody's ongoing feud with Martell, rumors of infidelity, business scandals, and personal betrayals. There's also been tension surrounding LaTisha and Maro Scott's troubled marriage. It feels like the same issues keep resurfacing season after season, with no fresh or intriguing storylines to keep viewers engaged. Rumors are also circulating that some cast members, particularly Melody and LaTisha Scott, are growing frustrated with how their personal lives are being portrayed on the show. Some of the cast have even expressed boredom with the constant repetition of the same issues. If the stars themselves are bored with the direction of the show, that's a serious problem, because reality TV relies on its cast members to be enthusiastic and engaged. If more cast members start pulling back, it could affect the show's chemistry, which was one of the key elements that made it so popular in the first place. So, why has OWN remained silent throughout all of this? Usually, the network would quickly address rumors of cancellation, especially if they had no basis in fact. But this time, there's been no comment from anyone at the network. Even Carlos King, the mastermind behind the show, has stayed quiet. This is highly unusual, as he's typically very vocal and involved in elevating the show's performance. The silence is raising even more questions about the future of the show. Perhaps OWN is still trying to figure out what to do, or maybe they're negotiating behind the scenes to save the show. It's also possible that LaTisha said something she wasn't supposed to, and now the network is scrambling to handle the fallout. Whatever the reason for the silence, it's clear that something is happening behind the scenes. In the past, when OWN has made the decision to cancel a show, the cast members were often the last to know. This has led some to speculate that the network might already be making decisions about the future of the show without informing the stars. If this is true, we could be closer to the end of Love and Marriage, Huntsville than we realize. Despite all the signs pointing to trouble, there is still hope for the show. The fans are still supporting it, even if they're critical of the drama and repetition. Reality TV thrives on viewer engagement, and as long as the audience remains interested, the show could continue. Fans have saved reality shows before. Take The Real Housewives of New York, for example. When the ratings were dropping, the show was revamped with a new cast and structure. If OWN feels that the fan support is still strong, they might consider doing something similar with Love and Marriage, Huntsville. However, there's a catch. Fan support alone isn't enough to keep a show on the air. The network also has to consider the financial side of things. Is the show still profitable? Are streaming deals and advertising sponsorships bringing in enough revenue? If the network is still making money from the show, they might choose to keep it on the air, even if the ratings are falling. The show's longevity could also depend on its performance on streaming platforms. If it's doing well on streaming services, that could give it more staying power. There's also the possibility of a spin-off. If OWN believes certain cast members could carry their own shows, they might choose to extend Love and Marriage, Huntsville just long enough to set up a spin-off. Another option for the network is to change the show's format. They could introduce new cast members to bring fresh energy or focus on different aspects of the cast's lives, such as their business ventures, family dynamics, or new challenges they're facing. If the drama is becoming too negative, OWN could try a more subdued approach while still keeping the entertaining elements intact. There are plenty of ways to rework the show to keep it interesting, and it's possible that the network will try one of these strategies to ensure the show stays on the air. The last big question is whether the cast members still want to stay. If key stars like Melody and LaTisha Scott decide to leave, it could make it much harder for the network to justify keeping the show going. Some cast members have already expressed frustration with how their personal lives are being portrayed, which could lead them to quit. If that happens, OWN will have to decide whether to cancel the show or continue without some of the main cast members. While the future of Love and Marriage, Huntsville is still uncertain, there is still hope for the show. If the network can update the format, attract new viewers, and keep the current cast engaged, the show could survive for at least one more season. But if the ratings continue to decline, the drama becomes too overwhelming, and important cast members decide to leave, the show may come to an end sooner rather than later. The decision is approaching, but we don't know yet what will happen. Stay tuned, as we'll be keeping an eye on the situation and bringing you the latest updates on the future of Love and Marriage, Huntsville.